Hello everyone and welcome to Northland Voices. I'm Barbara Reyelts. Minnesota has passed a new law that strengthens penalties for the sales and use of synthetic drugs. Beginning August 1st, those who sell synthetic drugs could face up to 5 years in prison for each sale. Zach Vavrika has the details.
In St. Paul, lawmakers have transformed Minnesota law, rewriting the fight against synthetic drugs. The new law signed last week by Governor Dayton makes the sale of synthetic drugs a felony, recategorizes the substance as a Schedule I drug, and according to lawmakers, most importantly, gives the Board of Pharmacy the power to add chemicals to the illegal list.
So instead of waiting for the part-time legislature to reconvene in another year and add more things to the statute that are illegal, that are really just changes in formula on what we've already outlawed, the State Board of Pharmacy can do that.
For last place owner Jim Carlson, the law is another overreach of big government that just won't work.
As of August 1st, I'm going to do whatever my attorney recommends, but I just talked to him today and he just thinks we're going to switch to another chemical.
Carlson says the bill isn't addressing what he says are the real substance problems in Minnesota.
It's just Big Brother telling you it's okay to drink, it's okay to smoke cigarettes that kill 7.5 million people a year. You can legally go to the doctor and do synthetic heroin, but it's not okay to do marijuana or to come in and buy incense from me.
Carlson could face issues with Duluth police in August when the law becomes active. In Duluth, Zach Vavrika with the Northlands News Center.
I just want to point out that that bill says the dealers of synthetic drugs will face a per felony count, meaning each sale after August 1st would be a felony. And we have asked State Senator Roger Reinert to join us to talk about this. This was a bill that you took from the very beginning, its inception, and pushed it through in a legislative session where, dare I say, not very much has been accomplished. Well, your bill passed. Why does this mean so much to you?
Well, I mean, clearly we've seen the impact in the community. I think Chief of Police Gordon Ramsay has said, and rightly so, that we've kind of been ground zero on this issue. Number one, we have an individual in the community who is willing to make as much money as he can off of this, even though it's having harmful impacts on individuals and the community. And number two, we have a large student population, and it's the communities around the state with sizable student populations where we've really seen this growth over the last couple of years. So, and Barbara, what sort of set the stage was the legislature did pass a bill last year, and I, like many, didn't see much impact from that. And the question then became, well, why not? What did we not do well enough to let the police and prosecution really go somewhere with this?
What was it?
Well, it was really two things, and there are things that we tried to correct in this bill. Number one, the penalty last year was a misdemeanor. And so for law enforcement and prosecution, it became a question of resources. When we have these many things to go after, how high do we prioritize a misdemeanor? That then was coupled with the fact that the law didn't really stay nimble enough to keep on top of the home chemists that were constantly changing formulas. So now you enter in the shadow of a doubt. Put those two things together, and quickly law enforcement's reluctant to make an arrest and prosecution's reluctant to prosecute, and you don't see much happen with it.
Well, you heard Mr. Carlson say we'll simply change the chemicals. And when we said yes, but the pharmaceutical board under this new law as of August 1st has the right to then go in, and it doesn't have to go through the legislature anymore. They can go in and say, okay, now we ban this chemical. My understanding from Mr. Carlson is that there's a process that'll take a certain amount of time, giving them time to sell that drug for a certain period of time, and then in that time they create another chemical. So how are you getting around that situation?
Right, and thanks for that question, Barbara. One of the things we spent a lot of time with on this bill and in conference committee as we worked through issues with this bill was something called expedited rulemaking. It doesn't mean much to anybody at home, but in terms of law, it's very important. The State Board of Pharmacy has, in this case, not only rulemaking, but expedited rulemaking. And that does allow the board to really shorten up that time frame to more like 45 days instead of the 6 months, which it normally would be. Now, we countered that because there are some sort of checks and balances in that by saying that the legislature must come back in the next session and ratify the board's decisions, which I suspect we probably will. The board's professional and very thorough. But You know, those who are out there selling this and doing harm to individuals and communities, I would just say beware if they nonchalantly think they're going to continue to do what they've always been doing.
So you think this law is going to work?
Not only do lawmakers think it's going to work, but we've had law enforcement and county prosecutors testify that this is what they need.
I have to ask you very quickly, because I only have about 30 seconds. The federal government's been trying to pass a similar law, an umbrella law for all the states, without success.
Yep.
What's going on there?
It's one of these issues where you have the power of the Senate and one member of the Senate putting a hold on it. In this case, it's Rand Paul, who is concerned about some of the issues, I guess, that Mr. Carlson brought up, and his hold means the bill can't come up for a vote in the Senate.
Well, it's certainly been an interesting subject, and I know one that's very close to your heart, and congratulations on your success with that bill. Now, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk with Duluth Police about the new law and how they intend to enforce it.